Welcome to the PTTS. Today's date is March 19, 2023, Sunday. My name is Nang Hong Lam. So, anyway, it's the same. It's not going away. Like, I don't know why. I'm trying to come up with arguments. Is why can it's just arguments is that is. I mean, at first it doesn't start out as arguments. I'm just posting up events about my life, how I accumulated the 199 first places. And then first it just began as competing in the tournament, campaigning to rank up my status until the end of my presidency position in 2011, and then I start posting up articles on my website, TRATCT.TUMBLR.com. From April 2017 to 2020, those 4 years of time posting up articles regularly on my website. So anyway, it just all comes to that, and then it's gonna all lead to that argument, you know. It's just like I'm each time, you know, like I'm making these videos. Is I was trying to make it some kind of summary about what's the things I have, the steps I have took, the things I have done, and things like that. And it's just like it takes up a lot, like some time, you know. But at the same time, I can't summarize everything, you know, like all those many years of time, all my whole life. I just can't summarize. It'll take up a lot of time to summarize all of that. That's why, like, I keep pointing out, especially like I'm posting up articles regularly on my website for 4 years of time, from April 2017 to 2020, and it's just like it's kind of like it's just really take up a lot of time each time to summarize my whole life in each of my videos is that I have to make. It's like, and then at the same time there's that whole argument. It's like the significant versus insignificant argument. It's like, you know, and then I'm going through all this trouble trying to summarize everything, and it's kind of like it should probably like the whole argument about like significant versus insignificant, which also known, well, okay, it's also known as this list of arguments is like the hunter or hunted argument, the famous versus infamous argument, official versus unofficial argument, the talked versus the non-talked argument, the break versus the unbreak argument. Basically, it's just this whole list of argument is just kind of like, in a way, you know, can you tell the difference between a person who have talked, a person who have not talked, and a person who have break, a person who have not break, a person who is official, a person who is unofficial? Kind of like, in a way, it's just like this whole significant versus insignificant. And each time, you know, I have to go through all these trying to summarize my videos. It's like my whole life, like all the events is in my life and things like that. So it's get very, anyway, I know that, so I'm pretty sure it's just like, you know, why not, it's kind of like, in a way, it's just like, can you tell the difference between those two? It's like, you know, hunted or hunter or hunted, kind of like, in a way, you know, just why are you just, can you tell these kind of differences, you know, what kind of like, in a way, there's this whole argument. It's like, so anyway, that's just the beginning of each of the video. I just have this kind of this conflict. It's like kind of like in a way, you know, I wanted to make as summarize my what's going on, like my whole life and everything, you know, to take up, not at the same time, try not to take up a lot of time trying to summarize about like my whole life so that people know what's going on. At the same time, I have already took all these steps to post up articles regularly on my website, TRATCT.TUMBLR.com, and I have kind of like in a way, you know, I wanted to take these steps, and also at the same time, you know, there's that whole argument, the whole significant versus insignificant. Is, are you significant? Are you insignificant? Why you have to go through all this trouble and you haven't get past this whole argument yet? You know, are you significant? Are you insignificant? Kind of like in a way, it's just like, are you hunter? Are you hunted? Or have you talk? Are you not talk? Kind of like in a way, are you famous? Are you not infamous? Are you have you break? Or you still have not break? And kind of like in a way, it's like, so the list go on, and it's just like, why you go through all this trouble, you know, putting this trouble trying to summarize everything, and you don't pushing yourself trying to summarize everything on each of your videos, on trying like everything you do, you're trying to, you know, make it so that people are on the same page as you and things like that, and you still haven't even got past that argument. You know, are you hunter or hunted? Are you significant or insignificant? Are you talk or have you not talk? Are you break or have you not break? Anyway, so that's just each time, you know, like I felt that I want to say something. I felt that there is that whole conflict going on / argument. Could say it's a conflict / argument. It's just like, you know, I just wanted to be on the same page, trying to summarize what's going on in my life and everything. And it's just that, still, it's just that, have you got past that? It's just like the significant versus insignificant. It's like, okay, so anyway, well, I really, like, I want to go back. This argument I have bring up throughout, like, often I would bring up this argument. I know it's, at the same time, it's not, like the whole underdog argument. It's just like, I have been wanted to go through this argument. It's like the whole underdog argument, and it's like kind of like the whole, pretty much it's, okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. There's some background activity going on, so okay, I just rewinded the video because I was cussing out loud, and rewinded some minutes of the video. I was just cussing out loud, making some basically. Alright, so it's the whole underdog is just like, every time I bring up this whole underdog, and it's just like, there's like this whole, like all these arguments pounding on my head. You are not underdog. It's like, there are people who are in much worse situation than you are. It's just like, every time I bring up this whole underdog argument, you are not underdog. There are so many people in worse situation than you are. It's like, so I'm just like really just crushed by that. It's just every time I'm just trying to bring up that whole underdog argument. It's like, you are not underdog. There are so many people in worse situation than you are. It's like, so each time I just wanted to bring up this argument, underdog argument, and I felt like there's all these argument pounding on my head. You are not underdog. There are so many people in worse situation than you are. It's like, and then at the same time, it's just like, and I have a build-up status, and your build-up status is not underdog. 199 first places and president position is not underdog. So it's just like, kind of like in a way, I just felt so much pounding on my head. It's just like each time, all these arguments pounding on my head. Each time I just want to bring up that argument, underdog argument. It's just like, you are not underdog. There's a lot of people who are in worse situation than you are. It's like, so anyway, so it's just like, basically that's what I think. It's these arguments is that it's really upsetting me, that's why I couldn't really, kind of like in a way, it's like, you know, okay, there's some background activities going on. I'm gonna pause for a second. There's some background activities going on. Okay, so anyway, it's Andy San. He is looking for something in the background. So one of the family member, Andy San, is looking for something in the background. So it's just, there's just noises. Anyway, so maybe he's gonna come back and try to look through some background. So there's some background activity going on. So it's like, anyway, I might be continue on if Andy's San gonna come back and try to look for something while I'm making a video. Anyway, so it's just so underdog could be like, it's bad luck, or like also known as bad luck argument, cursed life argument, ill fate argument. So basically it's just like each time when I try to bring up this whole underdog argument, there's all this being crushed by all these argument pounding on my head that I am not underdog, and 199 my accumulation of 199 first place, my present position is not underdog. And there are a lot of people who are in worse situations than I am. So anyway, alright, so pretty much I just want to point out my situation, how, you know, it's all lead to the whole underdog argument. Basically, it's just, I felt that the whole, it's because related to the whole underdog argument. That's why like I'm in these situations. Kind of like in a way I felt it's, well, so basically like the whole, it's also these arguments would fall into like the whole underdog argument because of the whole, because of those, the underdog argument that led to these arguments is, felt like the one like, you know, coming back, you know, you're coming back with one chip. Basically the other day, you know, like coming back with one chip. You have one chip on the table, kind of like in the casino. Remember a lot of people in the casino, poker room casino, there was a lot of people gathered around my table and watching me playing in the poker game. It's just like, and there was this talk that I came back from one chip. Okay, so Andy's on the background, like he's just looking for something. So it's like a lot of people gathered up on the casino poker room table, and